1 year later on this DIY outdoor patio. Awesome build, super fun. Now it's been through a year, 11 months of all the elements, all the seasons. Gonna share what I would do different in building this, some tips, some tricks, of course, also going into the cost to build this, why it's just such a great project. So use the timestamps if you want to skip on around, but first, quick little recap on how we made this thing. So here's a quick little time lapse just showing you what we started with and then just some assembly. And so for this project, that first part, really most of it I did do solo. My 10-year-old son did help me for a bit. But really with the use of ladders, you can pull off this whole project by yourself. And so some other ways of going about this, obviously you could do a scissor lift, you could do scaffolding, but just 2 ladders can do a lot. But pretty simple design, went with the metal corrugated roofing, super easy. Stay tuned later in the video, we get to hear a thunderstorm and see it working, but some different support, some brackets, did a little feature wall. But anyway, there's the original video that you can see if you want to see more. So my first recommendation, and probably the best one, is if you have a pre-existing pad, slab, is just to use these kinds of brackets, right? These work really well. You know it's going to be secure. You might be tempted to do another way. Don't. Use these brackets. They work well, and then you're up and running. Now, I was tempted to use these ground anchors. I saw something, I thought I would try it out. I talk about this in my video. Yeah, this is totally gonna work. This is not structural enough. I thought it's a little bit stronger than, what you get from one of those Costco kits or Walmart kits. It's not. And so we put them in, but we needed to fortify them. So it kind of got things balanced, but if you're tempted to do something like this, don't. So don't worry, I did remedy the situation. I put in a couple of bonus posts. They were all poured in, lots of concrete. So that's my number one recommendation. Don't try and cut corners. Even though this is not attached to the home, I talk about all of those things in the full videos, you still got to make sure it's secure, right? And so it lasted, it stood up to all the different weather. So definitely do some posts, do some more concrete like you see here. And yeah, we added a couple more over here. So the whole thing is rock solid. It's not going anywhere. But if you just use those ground anchors in cement, you're good. You can see here, I didn't have it going out that far. So I should have just started with concrete to begin with. So don't cut corners, big tip. Second tip is the span. So the way I did it is I used these 2x6s to go across. Now I thought I would get a lot more folks jumping in on comments, beating me up over this because I'm not a construction guy. Only productive, well actually really the only comment that I got was pretty constructive, and it was saying maybe go with 2x8s or 2x10s for that span. So I also made the mistake of cutting it short. These were 16-foot boards, and you can see how it ended right there. You want to go at least another 2 feet beyond. So if I had left it the initial 16 and not cut it at 13, I would have been so happy. I would have saved myself a ton of time and a lot of work because I had to fix that later. It wasn't long enough. So maybe your spans across, get something a little bit more structural. Some folks do say, go 6x6 posts, but this has held up fine. I have no structural issues, but I would just recommend, you see there, kind of angled it down, but I should have gone a lot further, right? And that's just because of side winds with the rain, sideways rain coming in. I want to make sure I have plenty of overhang. And yes, I have a video talking about this extension, but also getting into the gutters, building in custom decks, doing siding and all of that. But what I learned is I should have just gone longer at the get-go. And so here, I just kind of extended a little bit further. It is strong, it's supported, but you definitely want to add in some bracers. So as you build these, just make sure that it goes further out than where your space ends, and then you'll be good to go. Lots of brackets, lots of supports. I'll get into some different brackets again later and the cost of these, but there's lots of really cool ones. Some are cosmetic there just to cover up my whoopsie, but other ones are really good and structural, just to give that extra support. So by going beyond the edge of your roof, you definitely want to have some extra supports. All right, let's talk weather. So it has held up to all kinds of weather, giant thunderstorms. So we've never had any leaks, just that overlapping, metal roofing. The gutters have held up great. It's been awesome. We'll just add here at nighttime, the lights, the ambiance, pretty cool. But yeah, thunder, Snow, we didn't get as much snow in our region here in Western Washington, but we got a little bit. And so, I was prepared to have to brush off snow with one of those long, poles. There's my little guy waving. You can see how it just dripped right into the gutters. It held up really well. It did well. But obviously, if you're in a region that gets a lot of snow, there's some really cool, snow shovels, really long ones. But this space has been amazing. We've done several birthday parties out here. This is just bonus family space. I cannot recommend this enough. We had planned to do this for years. We just never did it. Amazing space. And yeah, cooking, grilling, all kinds of great food has been out here. Great time as a family. I've loved it as a bonus workshop. I've done a lot of my woodworking and laser projects out here. It's covered and year round I can do it. There's no side wind, rain, any issues I've had with that. We watch the game out here all the time. Watch games, watch movies, family time, throw some heaters out here. I can't recommend building something like this enough. So now the part a lot of you have been waiting for, the costs. How much did it cost to make? Well, spoiler alert, not as much as it would to buy one. So lumber, I went with pressure treated wood. It's it's going to hold up better. It looks better too. It doesn't age or weather over time. And so I used a lot of 4x4s, 2x6s, and 2x4s. Like I mentioned earlier, if you did 2x8s or 2x10s or 6x6 posts, it would obviously increase the cost by some, but not drastically. And so I thought the lumber was going to be really expensive. Well, the lumber alone was just around $1,000, about $1,050 for what I used. Obviously, it depends on your region. There's all the regional differences for price, but that's with pressure treated, and that was basically all you need is the wood. Obviously, some roofing, but we'll get into all the other costs. But the wood, the lumber, that's how much it cost. Another expense is going to be fasteners. I can't recommend the Star drive bit, T25 enough. They don't strip. They work so well, these construction screws. So I used a ton of screws. No nails whatsoever, no nail gun. It was all screws. Worked really well, held up very, very strong. All right, the other thing are these brackets. Like I mentioned earlier, this is the way to go. But these ground brackets that you just bolt straight in, these aren't too bad to get what it would cost for 6 for this type of structure. The cost is right here. However, of course, there's variables on what you got, but for the ground anchors, that's how much it costs for these brackets. So another cost would obviously be these brackets. So for me, I wanted to go with these brackets. I just thought they looked nice. So I used a couple different styles. I'd recommend sticking with the same, but kind of how I did the layout on this one. We have these ones, and then I did some others for 2x4s. So there's a lot of different brackets to choose from. Some, like this one, did offer some structure. Others were just to kind of complete the look. So this is where the overall cost can kind of get away from you. Just adding these brackets here, and so depends on what you're doing. Obviously that should have been a 4x4 post. But all of the brackets, I think, with the pressure treated wood really has a good look to it. Pretty affordable, but this is where the cost of a build like this can really add up. And so if you don't care about that aesthetic of adding all these little black brackets, you're going to save a lot of money. But the brackets, let's get into those. The gutters worked great. They held up all through the seasons. Pretty simple add-on here, adding in the gutters. Just really, really simple. A lot more to it. I never ended up trenching it, but just came down and then just a little splash block there. But the cost wasn't too bad on that. So the galvanized siding here, let's see, we ended up with, for the side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5 sheets. And then the roof, went a little bit bigger here. And so again, because I ended up doing that overhang and I extended it further, that changed it, right? So for me, this span probably could have gotten away with the 16 feet with just 2 sheets, but because I did the initial sheet and like a half, then I had that little extra section, so I ended up having to cut another one. But for here, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, we'll double check the math on this, but you could have just done 2, you know, overlap a little bit, give you about 15.5 feet for length across, which probably would have been sufficient. But because of how I went about it, it was a little bit more. So let's break down those costs. Lights, there's so much you can do with these. You know, party lights, there's lots of options out there. I'll link the ones that I used. These lights up here I really liked. These were awesome, really super bright. And then I have them on an outlet, a plug-in, so I can just use that little remote right there. These are solid. These are really good lights. The black cords, I don't really see them. I could have tucked away the cords a little bit more. Eventually I did want more lighting, so I just did some Costco. These are LED lights I use, like shop lights, and these work fine too. That's another option, but actually it's kind of nice for folks to see. You can see the difference. So the shop lights work well, and these are pretty affordable from Costco, usually on sale. These ones are a little bit more, but nice and classy. You can add in other elements, of course the heaters. There's so many more things you can add on. But we'll just jump in and talk about those lights real quick. This part would certainly not be necessary depending on what you're doing. With these brackets, so just the pipes, you know, this was just a kit from Amazon, but you could certainly just go to Home Depot or Lowe's and get your own, you know, here for the pipes, the brackets. It's nice for the shelves, kind of keeps that black metal with the black everything. There's some other add-ons here, towel bars for butcher paper, a little towel bar, some other options, but just for the little brackets and all that, a little bit more costs. I'll jump into those. So I love this feature wall. This cedar wall is my favorite, right? And I think if you're gonna do, you know, something like this, I think the cedar looks really nice and classy. This is, I think there's 16 of these boards. You can see these are siding boards. It's actually leftover from my parents' siding project a couple years ago, and these were some of the choice boards left over. But we can jump in and talk about the cost of what that would be. But you could certainly use, you know, old fence boards. I've done that a lot. That would be free. You can find some old fences, you know, make a kind of a pallet-like wall. You could obviously do pallet. So this is an expense right here. That's not necessary. Just depends on what you want to customize it out to look like, or if you just want to go all the corrugated metal, that look throughout, kind of an industrial look. So that's a variation in what it's going to cost, but some considerations. So our patio is kind of interesting. So I needed to extend it, building this little deck. This obviously would not be for most projects. You can see how it's a little off. Well, that's because the patio is so sloped. So I went ahead and made the whole deck level, but this was the cost. I went with some Primo cedar. It would be a lot less depending on the materials you used. However, that's another cost. And for the grand total, don't mind that we're in this space. This is the normal workshop where all kinds of things are happening. Definitely check out lots of other builds, outdoor builds, but lots of other cool things too. All right, outdoor build structure. So obviously there's a lot of variables and different things, but estimate the whole structure would be about $3,275. That's without a deck and without any of those walls. So basically, if you think about like one of those Costco units that you can get, Yardistry or whatever, or I mean, Walmart, Sam's Club, wherever, those units don't have walls. Those units, the materials they're made from, sometimes it is cedar, but it's just not the highest quality. You still have to anchor it and bracket. Those, a 12 by 20, which is pretty close to the size that I have, that runs $3,500 at Costco. Plus you have to pay tax and then all your brackets and mounting. And so for less than that, you can build that thing, which is awesome. Now, obviously, if you add in the structure, you know, depending on your materials, if you're using galvanized metal, it's going to be less expensive, or reclaimed wood. You know, that's another $500, $600 for walls, for feature walls, and then you can add in a deck. But, you know, the other cons is that unit from Costco, or those ones, they don't come with gutters. Now you can add those on, but they're just not as high quality. You can't customize them, and just the material quality again. And the height, right? We had crazy height on the other ones. So obviously I am very much pro build it yourself, DIY. That being said, we're about to move. I built that a year ago, and now I get to build it all over again. So we'll see in my new space what that looks like, but look forward to some more content on that and what we do with that space. Lots of potential new workshops plural, lots of cool and exciting things. But anyway, a little bit more. Here it is, right? So smaller lot, but we really maximized all the space here. You know, when we first moved in, there's actually a dying cedar tree right here. Weird old garden here, just transformed that. We've rebuilt the fence, put in a new fence about, I don't know, 6 years ago. That was fun, little privacy, but this was the one. We were fortunate that we have the overhang, so we could just go right up against there. Really simple. Again, wish I would have just gone the full length to at the get-go, but really fun. Amazing space. DIY, change it, transform it. Really, really fun here. All right, folks, there you have it. Such an amazing build. Highly recommend building it yourself. You can really customize it out. Obviously, it depends on your layout, but super fun and very approachable. All right, if this video added value and you want to see more outdoor builds, more projects like this, all kinds of woodwork, DIY, maker projects, please consider subscribing to see more videos like this. I've got a lot more outdoor builds coming. We're actually moving. We're moving, and sadly, I only got to enjoy this for 1 year, but I got to make a bigger one, a better one. Lots of other outdoor builds coming in the future here on this channel. So what would you like to see? What are some recommendations for projects that you think would be cool to see on the channel? Lots of cool stuff coming. Any questions about this build or anything, drop it down below, and we'll try and integrate it in future videos. Well, thank you for watching. Until next time, take care.